Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Playback Podcast presented by Car, your weekly podcast featuring America's favorite dancers, hosted by America's favorite road warriors. We are your hosts, Jocelyn, Kristyn, and Madison, and we got Nate producing in the back. Also, you may be aware that we are actually all three together in person right now, which is...
I moved.
Not really.
I wish.
But it's a dream come true that this week, luckily, Madison was able to be with us for the podcast recording this week. So we're very excited. Madison is here because she was at the San Gabriel event this past weekend. So
amazing talent. Stupid. It was so good. Just so good all weekend. The dancers were so fun. Should I get started with my favorite act?
Absolutely.
So I was watching it, and in the middle of watching it, I'm like, do I have my new favorite act of the season? I know.
Really?
I know. And then I was like, and it's just like 147 acts in. We still had a long weekend.
What?
But her name's Ellie Byers, Little Autumn Miller. Like if she would have came on and just stood there, I would have said you look like Autumn Miller, but she dances like Autumn Miller too. She did In This Shirt. Mm-hmm. You guys, she starts with her leg behind her head, and already I was like, whoa, this is flexibility at its finest. Then takes it over this way. So her head comes back through her leg. I don't know how she did it. My back was hurting. Beautiful movement, crazy control, then gets to halfway through the dance. You know how people do like a nip up, you go back, and then she like put it in reverse.
Oh.
No way.
And went to her head.
No,
it was so good, you guys. I loved it. I loved her. Her and her teacher were so nice. I got to talk to them after awards. We have a little video too that we'll post. She's just so sweet, and she needs to create an Instagram so we can all go follow her because she's so good. But seriously, she took my breath away when she was performing, and I think it might be one of my new favorite solos of the season.
Wow. That's a big compliment.
That was a big start for San Gabriel. I was like, we're in for a good treat this weekend.
That was day one?
Day one, like literally first awards.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah. She was great.
I don't know. I know that it's Peace, Love, and Dance. That's the
Peace,
studio.
Love, and Dance. Yes.
They were at our Ultra, and I don't know if I saw her. Maybe I missed her solo, or maybe she didn't come to Ultra and she only came to Rainbow.
Maybe they didn't bring their babies because she was in the 8 and under division.
Got it. Maybe that's
and
why.
you got like elite. She was the only one in that her age for competing in elite because she's so young, but has to be an elite. Like so good.
Dang, I'm sad I didn't get to see it in person. But
watch the video.
The video was good. The video was good.
So good.
Nice. I was in Dallas for Car, 4-day show. It was a big one. Fun fact, our rental van got stolen from the hotel parking lot.
Love it.
So already kind of got us off to a weird start, but we made it work. But we had some incredible talent this weekend in Dallas. I was just in Texas for Stafford like a couple weeks ago, but I had all new studios. I didn't see any of the same studios.
Oh, that's nice.
And there was great talent, but I just have to talk about, it was the first night of solos. It was that Thursday night. And there's this girl, her name is Carly. Playback Dog Days Are Over from Dance Dynamics.
Let's see it, Nate.
She was posted on the Car Instagram, and it was one of the routines where you're like encaptured the whole time because it's just so enjoyable to watch. And it's like one of those dances that you're just like, she's frolicking on the stage and it's so like carefree, and she still has like those really good technical and, you know, the dance moments. But it was more for me the part where, you know, the music builds up and she's kind of just running around the stage and having a good time, but still doing that like really nice contemporary movement. And I really enjoyed watching her. I loved watching her for the rest of the weekend. She was in a lot of performances, but I just thought it was a good style. And I feel like sometimes when we're in that contemporary mindset, we forget to enjoy ourselves on stage. And she did not. Like, Carly was very much in the moment, enjoying. You could tell she loves what she was doing. And it turned out for a great video because it got a lot of views on our dance card.
And she's just one of those dancers that throughout the rest of the weekend, you just kept looking at in every group routine.
Totally.
Sometimes you just have, I know they call it like the it factor, but
you know what? There was a dancer actually from Dance Dynamics who I was obsessed with the whole weekend. Her name is Margo Merrick.
Yes, Margo.
And she caught my eye from a group routine. She was with all the little ones, and she played the orphan runner, whatever, from Annie.
Okay.
The little girls, and her personality in that routine got me. And then the rest of the weekend, I was just watching her for every single routine, and her musical theater, facials, and just like her portrayal of every single group routine that she was in. My eye was always going to her. And I talked to her after the show, and she was actually a fan of the podcast.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey, Margo. We love you, girl.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, well, we have to touch on that a little bit because she
Love you too.
Jocelyn, I feel like you have to talk about. Are you guys gonna go back and forth? Is that what you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. My first day.
Yeah, what's
I remember
going on?
my first podcast.
It's like you don't remember how we do things here.
I know. I thought, you know what? It's Madison that's throwing me off.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
It's not the first time I've heard that, I promise you.
I'm just like, it's weird because I'm so used to looking at you like in front, and then the fact that I keep turning to look at you.
I don't know where to look either.
It's really weird.
I feel like I have to start out with a bang. So I was in St. Louis for CAR. You might remember I was in St. Louis for Rainbow a couple weeks back. So I did actually get to see some of the same performances, which I was really excited about. But I have to start out with a bang with this one. Act 395, Bolero. The dancer's name is Cora Chang, but I think they called her Casey when she was on stage. They were like, go Casey.
Love that.
She had 3 solos, but Bolero from Studio L Dance Center. That solo blew my mind. She reminds me of Nia Parker from Crazy Eights.
Love her.
So bomb. She doesn't do the spinny thing on her belly on the stage, though.
Me either.
But she came on stage with castanets.
Ooh.
You know, the little
Yes.
clicker castanets.
We love that.
I was drawn in from the moment that she walked on the stage to the moment that she left the stage. She even gave me a wink as she walked off the stage. And I was like, you just sealed the deal. I'm talking about you on the podcast immediately. I texted them right away and I was like, you guys, this soloist, she was insane. Her other 2 solos, beautiful. So well done. But this one caught my eye, mainly because of the castanets and the wink at the end. Like, I don't know, you guys. She was incredible, and I can't wait to see her at 18.
I'm excited. You were hyping her up.
Yeah,
Like-
you texted real fast about her. I think she was still on stage when you
Greg
texted.
was on, she was still on stage, and I was literally texting you guys. But like Greg, our MC, he was like working on his show notes, and I was like, Greg, if you do not watch this dancer right now, I swear to God, like she is stunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our director wasn't down there, and I was like, excuse me, like you just missed the best solo.
I need to go watch that video.
Yeah,
I
you
haven't
have
had a
to.
chance to watch yet.
You heard it here first. All you have to do is wink at us to get featured on the podcast.
I
mean, it wasn't just the wink, you guys. It was the performance
Yeah.
too. Like
it was just the cherry on top.
it was. It really like sealed the deal for me. Like her technique, her in-betweens, her facial expressions. You would think that she was a professional dancer in the dance world.
I always like when a dancer actually acknowledges me
Yes.
because I'm literally sitting down there for sometimes 700 acts.
Yeah.
And I hate it when they're just like looking over me and I'm like, you can interact with me still. And it also makes me enjoy my job when I'm sitting down there.
You're covered
because
by like a monster box.
not always.
you can see
I mean, you
us.
can still see me. Obviously, there's going to be certain points because like we have a giant sound system that kind of covers me, but sometimes depending on the venue, I'm like right there in front of the stage. And I love it when those dancers interact with me. And I know that they're mainly focused on the judges, of course.
Yeah.
But also like, I remember when I was a dancer, yes, I cared about the judges, but I always wanted the MC to like smile at me. Cause I knew like, they don't have to acknowledge me. You know
And
what I
look
mean?
at her now. She's the MC too.
How the
Captain.
tables have turned. Right?
I always get nervous when the little ones are on stage, and some of them we know, we just see dancers every weekend. I always get nervous that they'll be like, oh, I know you, and then forget the rest of their routine. So on the little ones, I almost like look down and try to hide. But I love when an older girl will just look and have the confidence to kind of bring you in and be like, yes, watch what I'm doing.
Oh, no.
I know you're going to like this.
No, those little kids, I'm like,
Yeah.
and honestly, like
Constantly.
not to toot my own horn, but I've kind of kept a kid from running off stage
Yes.
multiple
I
times.
think we've all done.
Yeah,
you
because
have
like
to.
they'll forget their dance and they look at you because you're right there and they start to panic and sometimes I'll just be like, turn.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
I
And
always
like
nod and
arms,
smile.
and I'll just like go like that, and then they
Yes.
kind of just start doing what I'm doing, and then they like
find
realize,
it.
and then they find it and catch back on, and I'm like, I love that. Like,
Yes.
Well, I feel like normally they'll have their teacher or their mom there, and it's just like seeing that a face saying, "You're good, you got it." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that encourages
And
them.
even the judges too, I noticed when they start
yeah.
to forget their solo, they're like,
"Come
you
on."
got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like get it, girl.
for
you
sure.
know?
But sometimes they need that visual of like, I've literally been like, like just do something. You
what
know
did we
I mean?
learn that was called mugging?
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but the
Yeah.
little cute duck face. Like,
Love it.
I'm
I
like,
love
just
it.
do that. You're young enough that you can get away with
Like,
doing
it's
that for
cute.
like 2 8
Give me a little pump.
Exactly.
It's lyrical.
This is why she can't be here.
I'm not allowed to be here. It's not that I don't live here. I'm just not welcome.
We did not even like mention that we have a playback jacket on right now. We're all matching with our brand new. Shout out to Madison.
Shout out to Riley. She made them for us. We love them. We got Adrian one. He loves it too.
Yeah. And Nate's wearing his.
Nate also has it on.
Yeah. We're loving it.
Yeah.
We're really dedicated to this podcast. And we're actually, it's really nice to be on the weekends and hearing from judges or studio directors or dancers. Like I said, they're like, oh yeah, I watch. Because I'm like, are you really?
I love it.
Yeah. That girl that we talked about a few weeks ago, she was at my St. Louis show.
Number 12.
Yes.
So good.
Number 12.
I talked about her because I enjoyed her performance, and then she ended up being at my show this past weekend, and I went up to her after the awards and I was like, hey, like, I'm so happy I got to see your solo again. Like, it was such a beautiful solo. And she was like, you talked about me on the podcast. And I was like, I did. Yes. And then her mom was like, let's take a photo. Is that illegal? And I was like, it's not illegal.
No,
like,
we're illegal
the
here.
show's done.
Yeah.
Like, we can totally do that.
That's so sweet. I didn't realize I was pulling media or something from social media for their show. And I was going through the pictures and I was like, oh my gosh, this girl's pictures are stunning. So I texted them. I'm like, please airdrop or mail me Act 12. I start editing. Nate and I are looking and I go,
this is the same girl.
We've already posted her. We've already talked about her. I still posted her again because it was a different solo.
It was Car.
It was Car, not Rainbow.
Not Rainbow, yeah.
But that's just how good she was that she caught my attention twice, not even me realizing that it was her again.
Totally.
Yeah. All right, I have somebody I have to talk about.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of her. I'm a huge fan of her mom now. Met them this weekend. Her name's Berlin Gonzalez, and I know a lot of people know her. So Nate had told me about her because she was a protege. I've talked to her through social media, and he was like, Madison, the kids just love her. And I was like, all right, let's actually see this. We go on TikTok live for 5 seconds. Everybody is obsessed with her. Following her the next day when I'm on live. Where's Berlin? Where's Berlin? Where's Berlin and Annie? Where's Berlin and Annie? We want them back. We want them back.
Wow.
Like she captivated the audience of non-dancers on social media.
That's awesome.
Also captivated everybody's attention there. She had 2 solos. Wow. There's a couple things I love about her. And I remember if you guys listened to the first episode, the judges' notes were really command the stage. Really that performance and emotional aspect is what will make you stand out compared to everybody else. Yeah. I think it's her eye contact. She gets on stage. Doesn't matter who you are. She will give you that eye contact, make you watch her. You are almost not allowed to take your eyes off her. She is just so captivating on stage. I feel like she brings the energy of a group hip hop routine that just makes you want to watch by herself in a solo. She's just so talented, so lovely, so captivating. And obviously people are a huge fan of her. So I'm excited to see her blow up.
She is
strong.
100%. She's been strong for years, though. Like, I remember when she won, I don't even know. It was years and years ago that she won. I want to say she won Miss Teen, right? In Vegas. Yeah, years and years ago. So she's been good for a long time. But
she's humble, too. We love a humble queen. And she was like,
love it. Yeah.
Humble, supportive. She was one of the only people there from her studio. Cheered for everybody else. Her and Annie together. That. Annie's another one of our proteges. She's from a different studio, and this is my favorite thing to see. She's backstage. I was on live in the other curtain across, screaming, cheering her on. Has her whole studio cheering her on, and I was getting emo watching it. But that's
like cute. One of the cool things about our Car Protege program for our convention is that it's all these dancers that are usually competing against one another that are now getting to do our convention tour and getting to dance alongside one another and get to know each other and get to appreciate each other's talents. And I think it just makes them better because it pushes them. It's like a friendly competition. Like, oh, I get to compete against my friend that I just toured with.
And they compete head to head.
Yeah. But I love that they can still support each other, and it's not like a...
I thought their moms are actually best friends, too, now. And I was like, oh, they probably go way back. You know, the moms probably danced together growing up. Nope. Protege program.
Yep. That's awesome.
I was like, maybe I need to join.
Right.
I'm going to have to practice my splits a little more to keep up with them. But, like, maybe I'll make it next year.
Speaking of, like, cutie little best friends, there was a duet this past weekend in Dallas. It was called Best Friend.
Okay.
And it was from Dance Dynamics. And their dancers were Emery and Addie. And you can tell when they're friends outside of dance. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's very evident because the way that they take each other's cues and the way that it was so clean. Like they just dance so well together. They really come together as one when they're dancing. And it was very evident because this weekend we did at the award ceremony a turn competition.
This is who you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And so we did a turn competition. And so, you know, you get a bunch of dancers to come up and you do a bunch of turn sequences, and they went head to head. And it literally looked choreographed because it was so clean, so on timing. And it just proves that they are used to training with each other and that they use each other to push each other. They're pushing each other to get better, but also they're enjoying getting to like dance with their BFF on stage.
I think something important that you said is that they push each other to get better. I always tell parents when they ask like what studio we should go to, what should we do? I always say you don't want to be the best at the studio. If you're the best, you have no room to grow. Find a friend that's amazing that you look up to. Become best friends with them. If they're doing 5 turns, push yourselves to be as good as them. And then once that best friend has 5 turns, now have 6. I feel like if you're in a studio where you have somebody that challenges you and it gets to be your best friend, that's even better. But it's so important to go to a studio that challenges you. You don't want to be the best one.
And if you are in fact like the best dancer at the studio, as long as you have those choreographers and those teachers that are training you and pushing you, because I feel like if you're the best at your studio and you're kind of not growing anymore, then
it's just so beneficial to have your community that pushes you even more to be better. I think
that's why I think social media is great because like even if you're from if you're a big fish in a small pond, you're still seeing. Why did I just say that?
It was so good. I love it.
I liked it.
But if you're from a really small town and you're used to winning every competition you go to, like that's when you can kind of venture out of your own city and maybe go to an out-of-state competition or start doing convention where you can really broaden your style and everything. So I completely agree. But Addie and Emery were super cute together, and I just loved that during that turn competition you can actually go watch it. We posted it on our Instagram account because it was so perfectly in sync.
The numbers are insane.
And it was great.
I got mad. Okay, this is a secret and I shouldn't be saying all of this, but Nate and I both post videos on the account. And he was in Dallas, so he definitely posted that. But we both posted a video at the same time, and the numbers just whooped my butt on the one I posted. And it's because they were so in sync, and they turned for so long, and it was so good and so well-deserved.
Because every time I try to control the awards, I am trying to make, like, big pieces of content. And while they went up to turn together, as soon as it started, I was like, oh, this is going to be the biggest reel we have in the whole year. Like, I knew it instantly.
And I didn't get to post it. I mean, we're a team, so I'm happy for you. But
it was my idea.
I know it was your idea, your video. There you go. This is how you push each other to be better. Nate had the best video, has the most views. Now I want to find a dancer that's going to have more views. Same example. Same thing in the studio.
We love that.
Amen.
Big fish, small pond.
Good luck.
Small pond, big fish.
Good luck. Good luck.
He's always going to beat me, but it's fine. I'm learning.
Fun fact, one of our directors, Dan, before every single general awards, he goes, listen up, dancers, and good luck.
And good luck.
And good luck.
Okay.
It's my favorite.
I have somebody I have to talk about.
Okay.
I have to talk about. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. His name's Brody, and he is the definition of passion.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I have so many things to say. One, his solo Bohemian Rhapsody. So cute. I mean, like,
of course he did that song.
You can't pick a better song.
For
you
him.
can't stop watching him. He's so passionate. I don't care if he just sat on the ground and did facials and arms the whole time. I would be captivated because the passion bleeds through in his performance.
Totally.
Another one that he did that I loved, little duo with little Penny Girl. It was Grease. They had the little bleachers and so cute, and they danced so well together. Oh, I wanted to, but I couldn't because I didn't want her to hear me crying in the background of it. They danced perfectly together. They're both passionate. You can tell they both push each other to be better, and it was just so well done. The prop wasn't too much. Costuming, perfect. But my favorite thing about him, he's young, right?
Yeah.
He handled, I mean, everybody knows who he is.
Yep.
So everybody's going up to say, can we take a video doing a shimmy with you? Can we post a video with you? Can we post a reel with you? And that has to be exhausting, but he handled it like a pop star. I'm not kidding. Like, so good. His mom just sat back, watched him do his thing. He was so nice and kind to everybody. And that just like made me happy because you know, he didn't have to do that. He's so young. He could just sit down. He really made those connections with the dancers who's probably look up to him. So I just think his mom's doing a great job with him. His dances were great. I loved the studio he came at. He actually has an older sister too, who's a beautiful dancer too. So hopefully she'll be at one of our competitions. She dances at a different studio, but I'm sure the passion is just as bright with her too. Yeah. But he did a great job. I wrote so many notes. I said, he's made for the stage. Put him on Broadway now. Literally. I said, loves dance equals me loving dance.
I'm dead.
He was so good. I mean,
Adrian thought that one was funny.
Papa thought that was funny.
You know what? I love when there's like a kid at that age who just knows like, I was born to dance.
Yes.
And I think that that's so powerful because you can feel it when you're watching those performances. Even if their technique isn't, perfect, even if they fall out of a turn, whatever it may be, when you can feel that like emotion and they're just living their best life on stage, you can't help but enjoy it. And obviously it's going to affect scores because even if you're the most technically trained dancer and you go out there and you don't look like you're enjoying what you're doing, it's not going to read the same.
No, it's blah. Like not to be... If you have no passion behind it, you can do tricks. That's cool.
Yeah.
I could YouTube wanting to see people do those tricks. It's the passion and the performance that draws you in. And that's what the judges said, especially on that first episode when we got most of their comments, what they say the most, it's you're missing the passion. Well, perform for us. You're on a stage. He's made to be on a stage.
Well, that's why he has such a following because it's so evident and it comes through the screen when you're watching him.
Even at awards. So we did dance battles at awards this weekend because we did have social media there and it's so fun. First one, up in the front, passionate, loving it, across the whole stage, back and forth, like doesn't stop dancing where he could just come out and sit on the ground. He doesn't have to dance. You can tell he doesn't dismiss any opportunity to be on a stage.
That's awesome.
If you are in Broadway, if you work there, call him, put him on Broadway now.
I think he needs it.
I'd buy a ticket.
I think so.
I'd buy a ticket to watch him shimmy for an hour and a half.
Shimmy?
I would.
I love it.
Okay, speaking of passion.
Yes.
First act of the weekend in St. Louis.
Number
one, Do It Again from DK Dance Productions. She's actually one of our new proteges for next season.
Yes, protege.
Valisa Anderson. She also had a solo, I'd Rather Go Blind, but her first one captured me. Literally act one. Do It Again. She's only 13, you guys. We posted her on social media. Yes. She had that blue costume.
I saw it.
Stunning. So much passion behind her movement. I was act one, you guys, and I was already into it. And I was like, wow, it's going to be a great weekend because the fact that first act like made me want to put everything down just to watch. I was shook. And you know how Tally is, like the first act of the day where
you got a lot going on.
Test it, make sure it's not broken.
Yeah, like there's a lot that you have to think about at Tally, that first act that goes on stage. So the fact that she captured me within those first like 10 seconds of her walking out, I was like, oh man.
For you to write down act one when you know you have 700 acts to go through and you only get to talk about it probably 3 on the podcast.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yep. So if you want to see her video, it was actually posted on Instagram.
Yes.
Love that.
Amazing.
I wanted to talk about a beautiful contemporary solo from Triple Motion and her name was Ella. And it was to Cherry Wine, which that beautiful song, it's one of my favorite songs at competition. Like I'll always stop and watch that performance just because that song alone gets me.
Sing it.
But no, I'm okay.
We're not singers here.
But her name was Ella, Triple Motion. It was so intricate. Like that choreography, I'm not sure who choreographed it, but I know it's from Triple Motion. The choreography was so intricate and it was just so well done. Like she really, really knew how to make those intricate moments sharp and then really flow in those beautiful moments. And it was just one of my favorite routines of all the elite soloists because, and I just kept looking back in my mind, like every single dance I watched, I was like, oh, no, I like that one more. I like that one more. It was just, I kept going back to it. And I don't remember where she placed, but that just goes to show that like,
it doesn't matter where you place. When a dance stands out, it stands out.
Amen.
Yeah. But beautiful job to Triple Motion and that dancer. And I have to give them another shout out. I'm just going to move into another Triple Motion routine because their elites were so good. And I'll talk about their contemporary, but also I have to talk about their super line. So like I said, this studio is very good at contemporary. Like I believe it's Brittany Maines who trains them.
Oh yes.
Hey Brittany.
She's great.
Yeah. Great choreography. But the fact that they had it was Mary was the name of it. And it was this big, I think it was a large group. so beautiful. There was this one move that I can't get out of my mind, and I've never seen it before. And it was something that I would have never like thought to do, but they like bent over and they picked up their leg and then they like shoved it back down onto the ground, like almost like they were like making, I don't know how to describe it, but I saw it and I was like,
can you try to show me?
No, I don't know.
I really want to know.
No, it's going to look stupid if I do it, but it was like, they were picking them their own, like, you know, the choreography when it's like a group routine and it's like they're helping them walk.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
She did it to herself.
How?
And it was like she was like planting her legs into the ground, and it was like so aggressive with it.
Love
but
it.
I was like, wait, I like that a lot. And I've never seen choreography do that, and I don't even know like
with
what.
like one dancer only, like in Gravity last week, they did that
Yes.
at the very end.
Exactly.
They helped her,
But it was like they were helping her.
Yeah.
But this dancer literally was picking up her leg and shoving it, like planting herself back into the ground. And I loved that so much. And that's like
That's
what
cool.
stuck. But the thing is, all those dancers that did that beautiful contemporary then came out for their super line hip hop and
Dang.
ate it up.
I
Like
bet.
when I tell you the entire audience was screaming,
Yes.
all of our judges, well, our judge Mario, who's like a big hip hop
Love
dude,
it.
literally was like, yes,
I can
yes.
picture that
Like
right
it was
now.
so good. And I was like, the versatility of triple motion, bringing out that contemporary and then bringing out that super line hip hop, obviously
Yeah.
took first overall. It was so good. But just, I love when you see that switch and they're like
Yes.
beautiful contemporary dancers and then they come out and they're just in beast mode.
Yeah.
Love it. Love
You
it.
can tell how hype you are right now.
I know. I'm like getting
Your
excited.
energy just shot up.
It's like she just watched it all over.
I'm
again.
like replaying it in my mind as I go. And then like they had like a couple of boys in that routine too that were just
Yes.
eating it up. And I was just like, this is so good.
I
Like
love that.
I always love a good hip hop super line.
For Mario is like hip hop. He knows it. Actually, he was the first person to teach me hip hop. I came from like a very technical studio and like I could not groove. Like the movement was it was lacking. It was not giving. So he'd be like, "Come on, just like try to get like a little funky with it," and I
Not
couldn't.
funky.
Yeah, like I couldn't. It was really bad. But he is like, he knows his hip hop. So if he's hype about it and like
I love
giving it
him.
first place overall,
Yeah.
I can only imagine how good it was.
No,
Shout
it was
out
great.
Mario.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this isn't one of my picks. I didn't see it. It's a judge's pick. I've now watched it since. Amazing. And I get why the judges picked it. So at the end of the weekends, I asked them, I said, off the top of your head, what stood out of all the acts? And they said body. I was like, cool. Studio. Anything else to it? And they were like, body. It's from Danzart, Danzart. And they said, this is again with that emotion. They committed 110% to the emotion. They said they weren't afraid to have that eye contact. They did not lack any bit. They did not, in their transitions before like going to a trick, to a move, they didn't stop with that emotion. They committed to it. They committed to the story, and they told it from when they walked onto the stage to when they talked off. And if you watch it back, you are going to be drawn in and you're going to feel the story with it. They just, they were storytellers. Yes, their technique was beautiful. Yes, their dancing was beautiful, but the judges couldn't get over how amazing that storytelling was. And it really just drew them in enough for them to say that that was their favorite routine of the whole weekend. So they did amazing. Watch that video. And if you're always wondering what we're talking about when the judges say commitment, emotion, don't walk off stage without leaving every single bit of your storytelling ability on that stage. This is the video to watch if you want to see how to do that.
You saying that just reminded me. I don't think dancers realize that the second you step foot on that stage, they're already judging you.
Yes.
So if you're like walking out on stage and you're not looking confident already, that's going to affect how they view that performance. Like you need to walk out ready to go. Even if it's a contemporary or a sad lyrical, like walk on with that emotion, and you can still walk on quick, get to your spot and set, but it's the confidence. And you can tell just by the posture of the dancer walking on stage. Like the second that dancer walks on stage, sometimes I'll be like, ooh, this is going to be good. And I'll get ready for it. And I think that a lot of dancers don't think about that. They think like, oh, once that music starts, I'm ready.
That's
but
when
it's
you're
like,
ready.
no, it's not just when that music starts.
No.
It's the second you step on stage,
Out of
that's
that wing.
your performance.
That's Berlin Gonzalez. She walks on, power. Like actually in the curtain, power, like ready to walk on and ready to say.
She looks like a giant, like walking out.
Yeah.
Even though she's not big. It's like powerful.
It's like,
hard to explain, but yeah.
They say that too
just
when it
take that.
comes to like auditioning.
Totally.
So when
I was
you
gonna
come
say
out
job
to
interview.
LA and you're auditioning for a tour or a commercial or a music video, they say the moment that you step foot in that room, you're already auditioning. So it's the same thing when you're stepping foot on stage. You're already being judged by those judging panel.
It's literally, they always say dance teaches you stuff for the rest of your life. Even if you're not going to be a professional dancer, you're not going to walk into a job interview and be like, I hope I get this.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Like, no, that's fake.
Yep.
Walk on with confidence. Walk into your job interview with confidence.
Yeah.
If you have to tap into somebody else and pretend you have an alter ego, do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to set you apart.
Command the stage.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm preaching. Sorry.
Okay, I have to talk about this dance that I saw. It was from Dance Creations Dance Studio. It was Act 314 Unwanted. And I knew I was going to love it already because I saw the parents covering this prop with the wing. And it was this giant wheel. And it had like a ladder in the middle of it. And it had different like pieces to it. I was like, okay, I can't wait to see them come on stage. Like they were literally hiding it because dancers were crawling up in it. And then they rolled it out on the stage while these dancers were in it. It was the coolest thing. And I want to say that this studio might be that same studio we saw a few years back where they were doing all those crazy gymnastics movements where the dancers were on their shoulders and stuff.
Wait, what studio is this?
Dance Creations Dance Studio.
In St.
I don't know
Louis.
if it's the same studio or not, but they were doing similar stuff. Like all of those dancers were tumbling across the stage. The strength that they had to have to be inside that wheel doing these crazy movements while it was rolling across the stage. The fact that they had brakes for it, like they had these like black brakes that they brought onto the stage and I didn't see them at all. And they just like had them inside their costume, pulled them out and put them on the wheel so it would stay. Then they would twist the wheel and put it down on the Marley so that it was flat. And then they'd pick it back up.
That's
tilt
hard.
it
That's a
sideways.
hard prop. Like they must
Yes.
do a lot of extra practices to execute it as well
That's what
as
I'm
they did
saying.
because that's not just you move the prop. You know what I mean? That's a lot of intricate
Like, could
planning.
you
It's like the
Imagine-
ship routine.
Totally.
If
Yes.
you're not in the right place at the right time,
Someone gets hurt.
Could
Yeah,
you
that's
imagine
not
like
funny.
a finger gets caught underneath
No.
it as it
no.
rolls? Like
Count me out.
They've
No.
been training so hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I was blown away.
shout out to all of our prop dads, moms,
Yes.
uncles, and prop family.
Yes.
I mean, they're taking their free time to build these insane props that the average person definitely can't do. Then coming to competition, somebody's driving that trailer, somebody's renting the trailer, somebody's doing all of that, staying there till after, watching the prop, putting it on.
Unloading, reloading.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
You know what's
you
so
bring a lot to
sad?
the show.
Something really sad. The
Uh-oh.
Public Edge in Texas,
Oh, yes.
a couple months ago, their entire prop trailer got stolen.
With all
What?
of their
With
props
With all their
inside.
props inside. And I just
Dance
had
moms?
this.
Is this Dance Moms?
I know, right? I don't know if it was necessarily like someone just wanted the trailer and didn't realize like, oh, it's props.
Or they thought
inside.
something else was
Or
in there.
yeah, I don't know. But how sad is that?
That's
like all the
horrible.
effort and time and money that goes into these props just for someone to steal it, like so sad. And they got, that's why 2 weeks ago when I was in Stafford, they said that they got that big prop for their elite group that ended up winning first overall. I think it was called Drowning. They literally got it like that week because all their props got stolen. So
Those
They
are
had
some
to remake
professional
all of them.
dancers to be able to just adapt
Adapt.
to it.
And
Yeah,
the dads
totally.
too, to like recreate what they already built.
totally.
Props to them.
Yeah.
Props to the props.
Okay, another group that I wanted to talk about from Dallas was from the studio Artistry in Motion.
Play it back.
First of all, the suits alone, like, already captured my attention. Because how do you miss a lime green suit? But this style was so cool, and it was to that Lady Gaga song, Boys.
Oh, I love
And
that song.
my favorite part was all the dancers came into the auditorium to watch that routine. And
love
during
that.
that routine, during like the chorus, all the dancers were singing Boys, like during the chorus. It's like boys, boys, boys. We
Full
like
body
those
chills.
in us. Yeah, but all the kids would be like, boys, boys, boys.
In
and
the
it
audience?
was so fun. And it just like
I love
elevated
it.
the entire routine.
Yeah.
And the routine alone, like stand alone without that, was awesome. And it was one of my favorites. But the fact that I just love when the studio comes to support every routine. And I just loved that. It was
My mic's been off for so long. I just switched it on.
No, but we've been hearing
No,
you.
I've been
You're
hearing
fine.
you.
Okay.
That button is broken.
Oh, good. Rookie mistake.
Says the girl who uses the same mic every weekend at competition. Anyway.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought I turned it off.
No,
My
it's
bad.
okay. It's okay. But yeah, I think that overall the style of this routine was super cool and different, but just the overall feel of the audience is one of my favorite things.
I love when the audience like tags in with the song. There was a solo this past weekend. I didn't write it down, but it reminded me of it when you said that. I don't even know what the song is, but it was a solo and it said like, say moo. And she was like mooing on stage to the point where our audience was mooing too.
Moo.
Wait, like a musical theater number?
Yes.
Okay.
And then our judges were mooing and our MC. And I was like, what is going on? I've never heard this song before, but like,
I need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
That caught you off guard, huh?
Moo.
Yeah, like everyone was mooing. And
But like, what was the song? I feel like we know all the songs because, you know.
I've never heard it before. But it was funny. She did a good job. But like that boys made me think of the mooing.
Moo.
Yeah, I just love any audience interaction, like especially if it's like choreographed. I don't want to say choreographed, but like planned, and they're like,
sorry.
no,
You know who used to do it so good?
Yeah.
Cutting Edge.
Yes.
oh really?
Talk about, you know what I'm talking about. Talk about a team in the audience. Every time they would hit a turn, explosions from the audience, and it made it so much more exciting. Oh, I used to love sitting in the audience when they were on stage.
I haven't seen them yet this season.
I haven't either.
I honestly like feel bad when there's studios that are silent in the audience and their kids are on stage, and it's like, you know, I'll make the announcement like, make some noise for Act 274, Party Girls, and then it's just like, I'm just like, you guys, hype your kids up.
And we can't clap either. That's the hardest
that's the thing,
part.
is like, I think that a lot of people don't realize that we have to, you know, because
Neutral.
of conflict of interest and just everything like that, we want to make sure that we're giving every single dancer the same opportunity. So that means, you know, for
if you don't clap for them all, you don't clap for one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we just, you know, even though we're there and, you know, maybe bobbing
We
our
want
heads
to
along
so
and
bad.
enjoying it, we can't be like, yes, this is awesome. You know, we don't want to like affect
No.
the competition at all.
So I saw this girl from Leg Up Productions 2 weeks ago, Rainbow St. Louis. And then I got to see her again. And it's sometimes rare that we get to see the same soloist a couple weeks back to back. But her solo was called Glam, and her name is Ava Minor. I could tell that she took the critiques from the judges from the previous show and really took it to heart, because even though her solo was so great back then, 2 weeks ago, it was even better this past weekend. And it just goes to show that listening to the critiques that the judges are giving is so important, because I saw it was like night and day. Not that her solo was bad before, but it was even more great this past weekend.
Can you imagine when we see it at finals?
She's going to be like
Whole different person.
all the way up here.
I love that. That's what competitions are for. It's to get that other advice besides what, and it's like when your mom tells you to do something, you're not going to do it. Same thing as your dance teacher. When you have the judges say it and you really take that to heart and put that to work for the next week, you improve, and it's great to see.
Yeah, shout out to Ava Minor from Leg Up. She was great.
All right, we're going to get into the DAC portion of the podcast. As you know, I'm the Dancers Against Cancer administrator, and I just want to give you guys weekly updates so that you guys are aware of what's going on with DAC, any new types of fundraisers or anything like that. So first off, I just have to give a big shout out to Spartanburg. I actually gave them a shout out a couple of weeks ago because they were the most earned donations of the entire competition. And again, they raised, you guys, are you ready for this?
I'm nervous.
Over $1,500.
Wow.
Insane.
Oh
Insane.
Insane. So thank you so much to the
They
team.
got the money there.
Yeah, the team, our staff that was in Spartanburg, collecting those donations. And thank you to those studios, those teachers, those parents, those dancers that continue to support. And I don't know how many of those studios were at the previous Spartanburg show.
I think a couple of them.
Yeah. So there must be double donating, which is insane. So just thank you so much. That's
very generous.
so generous. And, you know, as the season goes on, we do go to some of the same cities. Like she went to St. Louis twice. So we understand throughout the season, as those donations continue to come around to the same cities, that they might dwindle a little bit. But obviously not in Spartanburg.
They showed out again.
That's incredible.
You know what we should do on our last episode of the season before finals? We should see which city had the most, like out of all of them. So, kind of just announce them as the winner.
Oh yeah, we can totally do that.
Let's make it a contest.
Let's do it.
I love that. I love a good contest.
And then like
contest.
the fall, or maybe like the last one of the weekend, we can like give them free DAC merch or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I want to be a part of that.
We'll figure it out. Another thing that's really cool that we have going on is it's now March, and March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month, and we have an incredible dancer. Her name is Kristyn Baldwin. She grew up dancing at Hermitage Dance Academy in Tennessee, and her dad actually became a hope story in 2018, 2019. He was diagnosed with colon cancer, stage 4, and his whole family, his whole studio really just, got behind him, and he's still battling, a couple years later, and he's doing great. They're so positive and they're so full of hope. And that's why this family is just so incredible to me. So Kristyn actually is doing a dance challenge for the month of March. We set up a fundraiser on our website. So go to I'mADancerAgainstCancer.org and you can donate to her campaign. It's for Colon Cancer Awareness Month. But also she wanted to do a dance challenge just to make it really fun and spread the word. So she chose the song Dynamite by Teo Cruz. And I loved that. She said, I want to do this one because I really like the line where it says, I want to celebrate and live my life. And I was like, oh, I love that.
Didn't think I'd be crying.
I know.
Today.
She's super sweet. She's super dedicated to our cause, and I just wanted to get that information out there. So if you see that dance challenge going on, go ahead and get your dance friends together. Even if it's a bunch of dance moms doing it, just help support Kristyn, and she's going to be giving us more information throughout the month about how you can, get early screenings and symptoms that you can, spot ahead of time, and different treatment options. And she knows so much about it, obviously, because her family's been going through it for a couple years. So I just love it when it's not necessarily our hope story, but it's like the family then gets involved with Dancers Against Cancer. And so, we always say it here, like, once a part of the DAC fam, you're always a part of the DAC fam. And that just goes to show, like, she's been with us for a couple years now. And the fact that she still wholeheartedly wants to be involved with us and wants to continue spreading our mission is just so appreciated. So let's make sure we're supporting her and the Baldwin family and any other family that's still battling colon cancer, because it's a sneaky one. And there really is a lot of ways to prevent it, and also just get ahead of it if you do, in fact, end up getting diagnosed. So awesome job, Kristyn. We're excited to see, the donations that come through with that, and also just the awareness that it brings. And then obviously, since it's March, we have a new Dancers Against Cancer Dance of the Month from our choreographer, Jimmy Love. He choreographed, it's called the Scoop Challenge.
Yep.
And it's so good. It's so entertaining. I love it. He actually previously choreographed it like a couple months ago, and we just decided that we needed to use it for the month of March because it's such an entertaining one. And I really want to see the dancers on stage doing it before those award ceremonies.
Yep.
So make sure you're following I'm a Dancer Against Cancer on TikTok and on Instagram. We're going to be posting a slow version so that you guys can really get down that choreography. But yeah, we're excited to see all those dancers doing it on the cart and the rainbow stages. So if you do have a competition coming up, make sure you learn it so that you can, lead it at the next award ceremony.
We love that.
I watched it over and over and over again. This one's fun. I love it.
It's a good one.
All right. The last thing of this episode that we try to do at the end of every episode is our judges' tips. And this weekend we had Nancy Ward, and I really liked this one. It was, do not rush your choreography. Sustain and lengthen each phrase, especially in lyrical, and also the power of transitions. The power of keeping that emotion through your transitions when you're going from a trick to another trick, that in between movement, or even when you're prepping for a turn. Mm-hmm. Don't lose your emotion there, or else we check out. Mm-hmm. Keep that emotion. Dance all the way through to that prep. Also, I know my adrenaline rushes before I get on stage. I know other dancers have that too. Take a deep breath, relax, and sit in your counts. Really don't try to be even a half a second ahead, because our judges know musicality better than anybody. They've heard those songs over and over and over and over and over. They know where you're supposed to sit in the pocket with those beats. So really try to take that deep breath. And even though you have all that adrenaline, just chill for a minute and then just do what you know. Let muscle memory kick in, really enjoy it, and just focus on committing to that performance and not always the next move where you're rushing it. Mm-hmm. So that was the judge's tip. Thank you, Miss Nancy. We love that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think it's
time for me to go catch a flight.
I know. Madison has to leave. I'm really sad.
Wah, wah.
This
I
is truly
cry.
one of the best days of my life.
Last night was too.
It's true. It's true. All right, guys. I think that wraps up weekend 5 of the Playback Podcast. We are very excited. The season is going by so quickly. So
quick.
make sure that you guys are following us on everything. Obviously, follow Playback Podcast, but make sure you're following us at Dance Car, Rainbow Comp, DAC, everything. We want to make sure that you guys are getting all of the content over the competition weekends. We've been going live over the weekend.
We told you that was our secret last weekend, so we did it.
Yeah, so we're really excited. We've got obviously so many more dancers that we have not seen yet this season. And obviously, if you guys want us to talk about something specific, since we kind of only get to talk about where we were at or those social media pics, make sure that you guys are commenting down below the act number, the studio, the song, and definitely let us know who those dancers are so we can give them those shout outs because they are so well deserved.
Yep.
Love it.
I'll be in Chicago this weekend as extra staff.
Yep. And I'll be in Torrington, Connecticut. So exciting stuff.
I'll be doing social media, so please DM me if I get bored. Chat with me. I loved that this weekend. Being able to chat with everybody on TikTok. I made so many new friends. I love you guys. So please keep it up. Be my friend.
Definitely. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on the road.